Well, I got started growing mushrooms because I really wanted to get out of my real job. I've been a commercial fisherman for my whole working career, and I started having kids and being married and couldn't be away for 4 to 6 months out of the year, so I decided I need to do something different. I wanted to be in agriculture. My grandpa is a farmer, my dad's a farmer, so I asked my grandpa how I could bridge my way into ag, and he suggested mushrooms because it was something I could grow in the winter time and still keep my fishing job.
When Mason and I first got married, we knew we didn't want normal. We didn't want the 9 to 5. We didn't want to work for anybody. And mushrooms wasn't necessarily anything that we could have guessed, but it's everything that we knew we wanted.
Well, it helped that I didn't know how to grow any plants to begin with. So growing mushrooms, I didn't have to relearn anything. I just had a lot of time on fishing boats to read books, and I did a lot of trial and error.
So we started in our garage. It was very small scale. It was tarps hung up in different precarious ways, foggers, heaters, all sorts of things. He kept stealing all my humidifiers for the kids, and it drove me crazy. He broke my diffuser. I remember being so frustrated about those things, but it was all for this dream he had of learning to grow mushrooms.
Once you understand the life cycle of a mushroom, you can kind of decide how you're going to build your business around that. Every container has a purpose, and you start in one container to make your manufactured logs, which are the actual logs without the mushrooms, and we take sawdust and put it in bags. We add the perfect amount of moisture to that. We have to pasteurize that substrate, and then we'll introduce mushroom culture. Once the sawdust is all clean, that mushroom culture will spread throughout the substrate there, and it will consume all the available nutrients. And then once it's consumed all the nutrients that it's going to consume, we will introduce it to oxygen, and it will produce mushrooms at that point. We grow a lot of different mushrooms, and it changes with the season. When the warmer months, we'll grow warmer weather variety mushrooms. In the colder months, we'll grow colder weather. But right now we are growing a little bit of king trumpet, some black king. We always grow blue oyster and shiitake, and we always grow lion's mane.
One thing I hear a lot about mushrooms are a lot of intimidated people that don't know how to cook them. So something I always say, it doesn't have to be any more complicated than any button mushroom you would buy at the grocery store. You can take them home. If you're already planning a meal, mushrooms can likely go in it. You can saute them with butter or olive oil on the stove and throw them on top or into whatever you're already cooking. And then you can also get creative. A lot of people make crab cakes with our lion's mane mushrooms. We have attended a dinner before where a wonderful chef that we work with actually sliced the stem of a king mushroom, a king trumpet mushroom, and cooked them as if they were scallops, and they were fantastic. You would have never known the difference. So there's a lot of creative things you can do with mushrooms, or you can keep them very simple, saute them in butter and throw them into anything.
The whole reason that I got into this business was for the quality of life. Farming is not something, especially on a small scale like this is not something where you go out and you make a bunch of money and you bring home a whole lot of cash to the family. This is a 7-day-a-week lifestyle, and I get to be with my family every day. I get to bring my kids to work with me every day. It goes hand in hand with the local food movement, with the health movement, and the desire to have better tasting food, not just fuel for the body. That has introduced a lot of really amazing mushrooms.